Hey everyone! Alright, so look, I only had to skip one cut scene. Blah! Me in English tonight. Which is just basically us clarifying the source of the Mega Mice seed, or at least presumably. Right, let's head into this lab.
Miranda's lab.
My god. Alright. Oh god, how do I do? Oh, this must be Moreau, I want to say? Salvatore Moreau. Cadeau affinity low, brain function surprisingly low. The Cadeauids cause dramatic changes to the internal organs, transforming them into organs similar to fish-like gills in a swim bladder. Another subject with irregular cell division causing him to transform into a giant fish. The subject is unable to control his transformation to meet defects. Unfit vessel for Eva. Forever. Eva? Let's go Eva. Excuse me. Okay. Right. Uh, Demetrescu? Oh, I read somewhere apparently that I'm not really sure if this is correct, but for the sake of it, apparently I was reading somewhere that in that part of Eastern Europe that you don't shorten the to Demi or Demetrescu pronounced like the full Demetrescu. I'm 100% sure that's correct, but for the benefit of the doubt, I'll just call it Demetrescu and Demetrescu. So put the extra CU on, yeah, just for the sake of it. Just, yeah, so I'd say that. I'll see you now, Demetrescu. Canoe affinity most favorable. Brain functions normal. Regeneration rate is incredibly fast. The subject can heal any external wound within seconds and grow her nails into claws in mere moments. Rapid regeneration also means an increased body size. No shit. Note, due to hereditary blood disease, the subject must ingest human flesh and blood on a regular basis to maintain regeneration properties. Really? Huh. Okay. I mean, I find of weird things where you have to, like, have some sort of, whether it's some special salines fluid or, yeah, I know there are conditions that we have to have, have to have, like, special forms of solutions or fluids or whatever it might be, like, I don't mean those people have to have like who are who need regular blood donations. I don't mean like that. I mean other sorts of things like they're really quite rare. But you know, I mean, I suppose it could be on the form of blood donations, but that's another whole different story. I suspect that the subject's regeneration is not properly balanced, and she may mutate uncontrollably. Unfit vessel for Eva. This will be Heisenberg. Carl Heisenberg. Godot affinity incredibly favorable. Brain functions normal. Has electric organs similar to electric grey uh Nake Japonica? Japonica? If I say it, I'm just trying to say it, I think how you might pronounce it. Nake Japonica? I hope I pronounced someone correct. I'm gonna go with that one. Excuse me. These electric organs are connected to the subject's nervous system. Oh, I wonder how he got the electricity. Interesting. Wonder how the hell he got them in the first place. Or maybe it's just something with his genetics, who knows? Although I've never heard someone have electric um, organs that conduct electricity. That's a really strange one, but okay, alright. Game logic for you. Can therefore pass and control electricity throughout the entire body, allowing control of magnetic fluids which used to move metal. Obviously. Splendid specimen, but still an unfit vessel for Eva. Really? Okay. Probably worried about the electric conductivity, quite possibly. Okay, that's probably fair enough. To be fair, his ego kind of doesn't help. I wonder still, right, if that's saying it's most favorable, right, I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that if I theorize that Heisenberg is either a member of or like associated with the connections, this criminal organization, right? I wonder if that is some underlying unmentioned factor involved in him being unfit. Because if everything is favorable, right, electric organs, whatever, right, but if he's a member of the Orc Connection secretly, that would absolutely make him an unfit vessel, wouldn't it? Just saying, because there's no point having him as an ally unless you can do some sort of spy mission, but why? Just doesn't make sense for what it appears she's trying to do. Anyway, Donna Benefiento. Cador affinity favorable. Brain function is normal, although severe mental illness. Okay. Physically, she's no different from a regular human. However, she can secrete a signal-producing substance which controls plants affected by the mutamycete. Sorry, what now? She can secrete a signal... okay, I thought Heisenberg was weird. Electric conducting organs? Now she basically can produce some sort of plant controlling sweat. Sorry, oh well, probably shouldn't say fluidic sweat. But what? I'm sorry. What? What? Who's messing with genetics? I'm sorry. I don't like. This takes Ari Law to a whole new level, in my opinion. I mean, you're going to a point where it's like, no. We're gonna really shake up the law. I mean, electric conductivity, fine. I can buy that. I can buy into that. This, that's some like G virus, Nemesis C virus level shit. I mean, like the point where you at like to produce something to control plants, like that's genetics. I mean, like, where do these people get coming from? I mean, hereditary blood disease, like even Moreau, like I get that. Like some people just have rare disease. Like, I understand that. This, I mean, this is a next level genetic shit right here. What? Okay, all right. Game logic for you taken to. I mean, I understand this is RE, but this is. I mean, can we have a history here? I mean, or. Oh. I get what they're trying to do. Oh my god. Anyway, I think I know anyway. I think I understand partially. When humans absorb the pollen from a particular flower, she can cause them to have hallucinations. What happened with Ethan with the whole hallucinogenics? Yeah, from. Okay, right. Well, that makes sense. Because if she can secrete like a pollen sort of nature, then that's what That's why I was so like grey, misty. Okay, that makes sense. However, she is mentally underdeveloped and has divided Godot amongst the dolls in order to control from a distance, an unfit vessel for either. You know what I'm gonna feel here? I know Ari's done this before, right? I know Capcom's done this before with other games in Ari, with their Chronicles and everything. Right? They've stated something like this, or there's been like dialogue in the game, right, in the cutscene, and what happens is that like later on or in other games they backtrack an explanation. I mean, it's one of those document things we find a document and suddenly explains like the reason for this. What I mean is that like for specific like where did they find Carl Heisenberg? I mean, for the point of where they're found, Beneviento. I'm assuming it's Italian. Heisenberg in Germany or Austria. Let's just go with German, because that makes a bit more sense with it, unless the Panzer has somehow gone Austrian, but that's a whole different thing, for obvious reasons. But what I mean is that they're dragged away from like it's. I almost see, because we're yet to get a Revelations 3 and we're going to go for RE9. I have the feeling, I get the impression that we're going to find out where they got these people. Like, these people are special for a reason, right? They must be getting them from somewhere. Like, for someone to have such a unique genetic abnormality like Heisenberg does, is pretty damn unique, right? They're not going to get them from just anywhere. I've got a feeling that it would make perfect sense for Revelations 3 to be where they're getting these subjects from. Like, electric conductivity in the organs for this signal producing substance. Revelations 3 when it comes out. Perfect way for like, oh, these are patients that we've got with the experiments being successful, created a human that's got electrical conductivity in the organs. This with Beneviento, successful experiments, but they don't need any more, so then they're given, they either sell them or chuck them away, and the organization or connections or whatever, however it's worked out, right? They've been transferred to another facility they use, and they end up being successful. I bet that's how it's going to happen. Because, like, this is such a unique premise that's like, it needs to be explained. And I can foresee that being explained in Revelations 3. In fact, I expect it to be explained. Because all I'm saying is it's so unique that it needs to be explained. It can't just not be explained. There'll be in some document. That's all I'm pointing out. I realize it's a long-winded way of saying it, but I just thought I'd point that out, you know, so... Okay, my god. Huh. Wait, is that like some sort of source mold or something, or... Huh. Interesting. Wonder... What secrets we're gonna find here, I wonder? Okay. Document sift through, here we go. Oh, it's a cage. Okay. Huh. The Cadeau. I'm assuming it's Cadeau. It could be Cadou for all I know. Okay, we saw this in RE7. Okay, using the same pictures just to basically show this is like Miranda. She's obviously affiliated or part of the connections themselves. Okay, that's genetic modification. This is Miranda. Okay, so I'm assuming this is Ava. So okay, if that's so, obviously the kid, her baby's died. You know, maybe a year or 6 months, a year old. Died from whatever disease it was, and she's found this Munimai seed, maybe some form of data storage or whatever it might be, which makes sense. She's given the baby up to the Munimai seed, which is why it's transformed into a baby fetus like thing. And she's trying to find a vessel so that the mind of for Eva, I've got to go with it. Young Eva can be resurrected through a vessel. Aha! I'm assuming that's what the case is. Interesting for the lab coat. I wonder how far back we're talking. I mean, must be going back a fair way. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Are we only talking like 100 years? Really? I thought for sure it'd be a good couple of hundred. I mean, like the maths and all that. It gives me vibes of no more than a century ago. I'm really surprised at that. If that be the case. Huh. Oh, that's, I swear that's, is that Evelyn? Maybe. Oh my god, that's modern. Well, actually, okay, so that's the flash for RE7. Okay, that actually makes, okay, sure. That works. Oh. Okay. Huh. Huh. Okay, so she's gone some track somewhere. Alright, okay, fine. Whoa.
Spencer, here. No way.
Sorry, wait, what? Sorry, hold on. What? Dear Miranda, I wish I wouldn't give those things unless you've read the damn thing. That's a whole different thing. I'm just saying that if we haven't read a file, it shouldn't be giving us the review of it, the person's opinion to after read. That's all I'm saying. Kind of spoils it, but what? Dear Miranda, my deepest apologies for not meeting you in person. I would love nothing more than to visit your quaint village once more. However, I'm incredibly busy. Then again, I suppose for an immortal woman such as yourself, immortal? How the hell old is Miranda? She must either be leading or one of the major contributors in the connections then. Because if she's not with the connections, who the hell is she? And we'd better be finding out in this game. I'm sorry. So if you can no longer remember this poor half-dead medical student in the snow. I've always cherished the revelations I came to 15 years ago when I stayed in your village. Oh, okay. I was inspired by your research. To think one could transform a human by affecting them with an organism. Positively visionary. I knew that with that knowledge I could achieve my own vision for the next step in human evolution. Oh, bullshit. Human evolution, my ass? You mean you're gonna create a bunch of bloody monsters? Yeah, that... Well, I suppose technically it is visionary, but used in a completely wrong way. So, yeah. Or opposite way, I suppose is the best way to put it. Even after 2 world wars and humanity on the cups of another, my conviction never wavered. Okay. Oh yeah, of course, because the whole thing, because their Umbrella was starting. Oh God, I want to say sometime between 1954 and 1962. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I think that's vaguely. I'm 100% welcome for you to let me know when exactly Umbrella was formed. I can't 100% remember, but that time frame vaguely familiar to me. Makes sense actually a bit because it ties in with Arklay. Arklay Mountains. There you go, one near Raccoon City. How about that? I realized, however, through the many nights of intellectual talks you and I shared, that your conviction differed from mine. You ought to bring back a single dead person, her child, ever, either. Right, there you go. That, okay, put the pieces together. For a baby, she's finding a vessel. Right, gotcha. Well, I aim to change the world. Oh, you changed it, alright. You just self-destructed it, basically. Well, with the BSA, FBC, and all these other people getting involved, TerraSave and all that getting involved, but you managed a pretty good bloody job of it, you asshole. Your experiments on the mold would not have aided me in my endeavor to achieve an exponential infection. I thought a virus would be more effective. You and your viruses, Umbrella. Good God. Oh dear. This is why, my dear, I had to leave you. I still regret never telling you goodbye. My apologies for reminiscing. I actually have news that I thought might please you. I found the key to evolution, the progenitor, a virus found in Africa. For those who don't know RE lore, progenitor is the name of a flower that they found in Africa. It's a plant that, as far as I've read and understand through RE lore, that progenitor is a flower, named for a flower that only grows in certain parts of Africa. So they made a base there in Africa, which you know from RE. If you've played or watched a playthrough of RE5 with Chris and Sheva, going through Africa. Excuse me, they had a facility which they harvested, cultivated, and developed the progenitor flower, send off to create the progenitor virus and all that, which specialized through Arklay as well. And oh god, we also see high mention of Tricell and all that other stuff. So yeah, that's a bit of a catch up for you. If you know, that's the long short of it. I plan to start a company with friends and colleagues dedicated to the virus's research. I'll call it Umbrella. No kidding. Just like the symbol in the cave that we spoke about. I am one step closer to making my vision a reality. I hope that you will be able to achieve your goal someday too. I can't remember who the other guy was. You taught me so much, and for that I will be forever in your debt. Sincerely, your lifelong student, Oswald E. Spencer. Wow. So Spencer learnt of Miranda. Huh. So how old does that? Hang on. If if she's immortal, like how old are we talking? I understand. I'm put aside the term for immortal for 1 second. I mean, how far back are we talking her existence? I mean, just because people say she's immortal, either because it's personal reference or just what people claim it, but are we talking like 500, 1,000, 2,000? I mean, how far back are we going? And why the hell's there no other mention of this? You know, I mean, how long? When did her kid die? That's just interesting. Huh. Wow. Okay. Um, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that of an interesting note. It reminded me like this odd bunch of things going back into a deja vu for me in recollection, but for things like the I'm pretty sure, I'm happy to be corrected, but I'm pretty sure the Wesker project or the Wesker program, I think it's called the Wesker project, was in Arclay 2, I believe. So essentially a program for designed by Art Spencer and whoever it was else that they commissioned the program to basically have a bunch of kids that came through and the best of the best that survived the project through the program program of the project basically got to utilize the tools and billions at Spencer's disposal. And Alex and Albert were the two last survivors of my knowledge. So they basically bled Spencer dry of his hundreds of just of his wealth. So yeah, going by their own means. So that's yeah. Long story short, in case you were interested. So I'm pretty sure it was Arclay. Maybe I got a different facility. Maybe I've forgotten about a different facility. But yeah, wow, interesting. God, this is bringing back a. I mean, I'm no expert on RE law, but I know a fair bit. Good God, she's kept some serious documentation. God, she must have been alive for bloody ages. Wow. Okay. Definitely doing some serious research. Oh, that's okay. That's the Cadeau inside. Ah, interesting. All right. Oh, hang on. Evelyn! Hello there. My Eva, it's been 100 years since I lost you to the Spanish flu. Ah, okay. Oh, wait. Wait, so when now was this written? If we're talking about recent, I can't actually. I genuinely cannot remember when the Spanish flu was. Whether what I mean is, are we talking about like from the 80s, did you write this in the 80s, did you write this in 2020, or I can't remember when the Spanish flu was. Actually, remind me in the comments if you know when the Spanish flu took place or what period of time. It'd be good to so I know when she wrote this or how far back we're talking, just give us an idea. I was so powerless back then, but now I can bring you back to life from the Megamycete. I had to test your new vessel's regenerative abilities. I took her, I took her apart, Rose, and revived her in the Megamycete's regulator, the Giant's Chalice. All that is left is to merge you with the Megamycete. The ceremony can finally begin. Oh, okay. This is mass deception. So Rose has actually been put in the Megamycete. So I've got this completely wrong way round. So Rose has been put in the Megamycete, and Eva is actually in the Giant's Chalice, I think. Took her revived. Oh wait, revived in the regulator. Was left to submerge her with the wait. Oh, did I get that wrong? Test your vessels her apart and right. Wait. Oh no. Okay. So I the oh no. So maybe it's genetic storage that's put with Eva with Eva in. Which I'm getting confused now. After I lost you, I was so stricken with grief that I wandered into a cave to die. I so wanted to be with you again, and that's when I found it. The Megamycete! Completely by accident. When I touched the black substance, my mind was overcome with knowledge. The Megamycete breaks down and absorbs the consciousness of those who have perished. That explains why it was below the graves and all that. So Rose's Jesus, Eva's grave must be on top of one of those graves, I imagine. So it was directly on top of the storage. Okay, I see where that goes. Okay. I knew that if your consciousness was in there too, then it would be a way to bring you back. Which I'm assuming is then why it's taken the form of. I just needed the right vessel. When I returned to the village, I implanted the villagers with mold from the Megamycete. That way I could control them, experiment on them. I have experimented on hundreds of people just to find the perfect vessel. I even tried to increase the efficiency of finding a vessel by creating a parasite called Cadeau. Yet none of my experiments have come to fruition. Okay. There are some, like Alcina, who are close to being perfect, but most turn into lichens. Excuse me. I was once approached by an organization who said they would assist me. I gave them some of the mold in your DNA. The connections. Oh, so she's not part of the connections. Interesting. But all they created was another defect, Evelyn. Well, they were trying to create their own version of a deadly pathogenic form, I think. That's not the best way to explain it, but it's as infectious as a pathogen. That's kind of the way I'm meaning it. So, then again, not a complete failure. I learned of Rose thanks to them, and I knew she would be the perfect vessel. There would be some interference, but I was able to verify its suitability. Now my research is finally complete. Eva, I've waited too long to see you again. Oh, okay. I've got a sneaking suspicion Heisenberg actually is part. Okay, I I'm happy for like this is gonna have to be connected to Revelations 3 or RE9. But I almost would say this confirmed my suspicions that Heisenberg is a member of the Connections. For him to know that the BSA will come, you have to have insider knowledge. I mean, the Connections are a criminal organization. They're going to have knowledge of just about everyone at this point. So that makes complete sense. And the fact is that as much as Heisenberg is powerful, he doesn't want to even dare confront Miranda without more power. And I think Miranda's got enough control over him that she can find stuff out if she wanted to. So that would make sense that she forced him to divulge that information. Because if Heisenberg's going the connection, she can control Heisenberg if she wants to and grab information from him through the whereabouts. I wonder if that's how that works. Interesting. Because otherwise, I don't see how she could have found out. I learned of Rose things so. I mean, even like the connections were another criminal organization that were chasing them, but unless this is from some unless there's some oh, hang on a minute. Unless there's someone in the BSA board of directors or hierarchy who's actually a secret agent for the connections and is passing messages to them, they would then pass information to Miranda for Rose. Either one of them is quite possible. I'm gonna, for the time being, I'm gonna go with the Heisenberg theory because that makes more immediate sense. But it could very easily be the whole BSA thing. I mean, there's been issues there, so interesting. So, okay, right. So I still can't wrap my head around the fact that so Miranda's not part of the connections. So, like, she's just got all this medical research. How? I mean, the stuff she has is pretty advanced. I mean, by comparison, I mean she's got some older methods, but using some fairly modern. I mean, compared to, I mean, like the newer forms. I mean, obviously compared to stuff like the 1880s or whatever it is, but it's the same type of technology, just with more modern methods, from what I can see in the room. But the methodology must be a lot more advanced. But I mean, like, where the hell she learned to, like, even back then, like splitting cells and doing all this, like it's pretty advanced. I mean, where does Miranda come from? I mean, what, we don't get to get a history lesson on Miranda? Especially if we end up having to kill her? That doesn't make any sense, because we need to have a background on Miranda first. So, of course, typical, we probably won't. It'll just leave us a massive question mark, like, no, it's fine. Who cares? It's just Miranda's. Like, you give us this info, tell us this much, and then give us these medical understanding. It's like, and just leave it there? Like, I bet that's what's gonna bloody happen. And I really hate it when games do that. Okay, so that's Mia. That's was that? Oh, was it Alan Rickman, if I recall correctly, or something like that? Um, I think so. The other guy who was with Mia on the boat. Oh, I'm sure I know that face on the far left. I can't remember his name for the life of me. Is that's not Birch, is it? Birch, is it? I swear I recognize two of them. I wonder. Huh. There was there was shit. Marcus. Is that Marcus? Oh, I forgot. If you know Ari Law, you know who I'm talking about here, Marcus. I wonder that on the file letters Marcus. I think I recognize the guy on the middle, on the left hand side next to Miranda. No, I got do the guy on the right is. I think I recognize his face. I wonder if that's Marcus or that's Birch who's been transferred facilities, but I bet that's Marcus. For the time frame of the game of Ari Law, that would make sense, because Marcus was a brilliant young scientist. Or brilliant, but he was a very well thought of scientist, a bit eccentric, of course, but very clever scientist. There's a couple of other guys in that field which, Wesker knew about all that. I mean, we're talking way back to Arclay times, and even around those sorts of things. Assuming that is that reference, that's kind of cool actually in itself. So that's going back. So she maybe taught them that or something. I wonder. So that's Miranda. Huh. Interesting. Oh boy. Well. Okay, you know what? I'll take a breath here. I've waffled on enough for this one. We'll open this one, see who the hell's in. Have to clear this next time. Yeah, I just, that's a lot of information to think about, just divulging stuff. Oh god, I mean, it's just like, assuming that is Marcus, I mean, that's either Marcus or Birch. I've got the feeling it's possibly Marcus. I forgot what his full name is, Dr. Marcus. I can't remember. I think Marcus was the first name. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, I get. If that is Marcus, I mean, we're talking right back to. I mean, yeah. back to the Arclay facility, or even for the Arclay mansion with all these experiments and all this. I mean, if my understanding is correct through the lore of, I mean, there's a few different takes on the lore from Bill's perspectives, but I mean, like with Wesker understanding this sort of stuff, having his own ends, Marcus, all these other people, scientists getting involved with lots of people. It's basically a point where scientists are the leaders. There's no real security, as it were. I mean, they've got security, but that's the whole isolation is their security, if that makes any sense back then. So it was just working in the background, doing experiments and all that. So, I mean, I wonder. Because if that, I mean, how that connects to Miranda, how Miranda's never come up discussion. I mean, assuming that is Birch or Miranda, assuming it's either one of them, for Birch or Marcus, then I find it really incredible that unless I've missed something completely RE lore that I've ever heard of, I don't remember the name Miranda coming up. Dr. Miranda. I really don't remember that name coming up, unless I've missed something. Assume it's one of them. We've heard plenty about those two characters. Dr. Reginald Birch, I think his name was, or maybe I got the completely wrong name. But you get my point. The guy from oh, brain think for a second. That would have been RE3. So yeah, we're going back to. I mean, unless this is, I mean, I could be going a bit too far, but I mean, he's already just an egomaniac with genetics and all that, just trying to do his own thing with viruses. But it just makes me wonder about that. Yeah, curious. Really wonder. It's just something. I'm just a lot of things. If I'm holding my judgment partially in Chris, and just I want to read the Baker's incident report. I'm hoping that has a lot of information with to clear up some stuff, theories, all the. I mean, there's a lot of information I'm trying to sort through here. So I'm just trying to think out loud here. I know I'm waffling on, but it helps me if I think out loud. Just consider possibilities. But anyway, I know talked for awful long enough for this one. I'll see you next time. We'll continue on.